All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? Happy Friday to you. It is Friday, May 7th, 2021. This morning, we're going to talk about finding the right coach for you. How do you find the right coach for yourself? How do you pick a coach? Do you need one? Should you have one? We're going to unpack that today. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life. And then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, what's happening, guys? Good morning and happy Friday to you. I hope you guys are having an awesome day, man. I've had a great morning over here already. Got to the office bright and early this morning. Spent some time over with the champions on Clubhouse, breakfast with champions this morning. We were talking about one of the posts that I put out yesterday on Instagram this morning about results being the real measuring stick. Talk is cheap, guys. And we were talking about that this morning on Clubhouse. We're going to talk about how to find the right coach for you this morning here on Morning Perspective. I think this is a topic that I get asked a lot, right? I get asked about how I've chosen the people who advise me. Do people need a coach? Should you have one? Should you not have one? And then if you're going to have one, which I will get into this, but I think everybody should in some way, shape, or form. If you're going to have one, how do you choose one? How do you make sure that it's the right coach for you? And so there's some characteristics that I'm going to run through with you guys that kind of will help you just look for that person. And you might find out that you already have this person in your life already, right? There might be somebody that's kind of in your life that you haven't looked at as a coach that maybe you can have some more structured conversations with and get a little bit more productive relationship moving in your life with these people who are naturally just great coaches. But first, I want to say good morning to some folks. We got a bunch of people on here already. What's happening? Christina, Jared, Michael Bonetto, David Martin, Carla, Tammy, Rick, Bob, Nadia, John Rugg. My man this morning got me all fired up, man. He's talking about they're the only paving company in town that's paving today. And I said to John, which I sent him a picture of what I'm going to post this afternoon, I said the habits of winners are undeniable. You guys will see that post coming from me. I'm going to write it today and I'm going to post it. And it's because of my man, John Rugg. Inspiration, man. That guy's a grinder, a hard worker. He's got a great team, a great family. Everything up there in Johnstown is banging for Laurel Asphalt. Jenna, good morning. My secret weapon there. That's the girl behind the scenes that makes all this happen, man. I'm so grateful to have Jenna in my life. Trisha, that's the girl at the Pavement Group that behind the scenes makes it all happen. And then Rick and Christina, good morning to you guys, and thanks for being here. All right, so when you're finding the right coach, right, when you're searching for the right coach, what are the characteristics that you're looking for in a coach for you? And, here's some of the things that I thought about and some of the things that I think make a great coach and make that relationship extremely productive. The number one thing, and this goes for coaches that you would choose, people that you're going to work with, even customers that you choose to work with. The characteristics that you're looking for in a coach, number one on my list is that they have to have the same values as you, or they have to have values that you aspire to have, one or the other. But values are at the foundation of everything that we do. And so the only way that you can really take great advice from a coach is if you believe what they believe, right? If you have different values than the person who is advising you, you're going to question whether or not that advice that they give you is actually going to work. And even if you don't consciously think about that, your subconscious mind is going to constantly be questioning those things that they're advising you on. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't get any type of advice from somebody that you don't identically share values with. It just means you have to be careful about how much advice you get, how you're processing that. You have to be very aware. There have been people who I have learned a lot from that I did not necessarily share identical values with, but finding the right coach, the right person to guide you, you should have shared values, right? If you're going to spend a lot of time with somebody, making sure that you have shared values and that you're constantly evaluating that to make sure that those values continue to align. Because as we know, people change over time, people evolve over time, and sometimes those values change. Sometimes those things get compromised, right? Sometimes people find a higher level of success and those values may alter a little bit. Those things may wobble a little bit. So you have to constantly be evaluating that. But shared values or values that you aspire to have would be one of the first things that I look for in a person that's going to advise me. It's really, really important to be able to take the advice that they give you and instantly implement it without having to process it. That's absolutely the fastest way for you to be able to make progress. So shared values is the first thing I would say. Next thing on my list is someone that has knowledge in areas that you lack. When you're looking for a coach, obviously they either have to have a higher level of knowledge than you, or they have to have knowledge in areas that you need advice in, that you need knowledge in, or you need a different perspective of. And so you're looking for people who are well studied in those areas, right? For me, some of the areas of expertise that I feel very comfortable advising people in would be sales, marketing, leadership, processes, how to build out processes within a business. And so those are the areas that technology is a big one for me. So those are areas that I see people, kind of being attracted to Top Contractor School, for example, as a result of the extensive knowledge that I have in those areas. And so when people are lacking that knowledge, it's a natural attraction to be able to get that knowledge from a person, from a coach in those areas. So someone that has the knowledge in the areas that you might be lacking in. All right. So next thing on the list, and this one, it kind of shifts into those material things, but this is something that you have to be evaluating when you're choosing a coach. Does this person actually have things in their life that you aspire to have? That would be something on the list that could be a way that you evaluate and choose. So someone that has things in their life that you aspire to have, right? I always say, don't take advice from someone that you wouldn't switch places with in that particular area of your life. So for me, and I've said this before, but for me, when I'm choosing mentors or coaches, I'm very careful about those choices for specific reasons. When I read books from mentors, I try to read books of people who have accomplished what I am looking to accomplish. But in a lot of ways, I'm also looking for those people who have balanced family with that, who have done all of the things that I want to do with the circumstances that I also have, right? So that doesn't mean that all of the people that advise you have to have that, but those are some of the things that I look at. So, when you're looking at how to choose, do these people have some of the things that you aspire to have? That could be material things. It could also be discipline. It could also be habits and routine. It could be their fitness. It could be anything, right? But do they have the things that you aspire to have? All right, next thing on the list. Do they have relationships with others that you admire? People's relationships with others are a great indication of your potential relationship with them. One of the things that I see with coaches in today's world is a lot of turnover. So they can get a lot of people into their program, so they can advise a lot of people, but do they have relationships that last the test of time as a mentor or as a coach? Because those relationships are an indication of future relationships in a lot of cases. The other part of relationships is, do they have relationships that they possess that could be relationships that are beneficial to you, whether it be other people that they can, kind of connect you with, that can coach a different area of your life, or do they have relationships that could be great business relationships for you in the future? Those relationships are really important. So look at those connections that they have around them. The people that they're surrounded by are a good indication of that person, of the character of that person. The skill and the coaching level of that person is indicated a lot of times by the length of the relationships that they have with people that they have coached. The next thing on the list, and this will flush out a lot of people when it comes to coaching, because there's a lot of people that are, being quote unquote coaches in today's world. A track record of success. You should be able to ask that person for some referrals of people who they have coached to success, right? Who they've made an impact with. They have a track record of success with these people that they can, give you, connect you with so that you can have a conversation with. But there should be a track record of success for somebody that you're going to find that's the right coach for you. Next thing on my list, the ability to motivate and inspire you. If they do not have the ability to motivate and inspire you, you should be questioning their ability to coach you. And this is just how it works, guys. When you have a coach, they can be as knowledgeable as you want them to be. But if they don't have the ability to motivate and inspire you out of adversity or through adversity, it's going to be very difficult for them to be a successful coach for you. This is one of the indicators for me that makes a great coach. It doesn't matter whether they're a business coach, a coach in sports, a coach in any aspect of life. If that person can't motivate and inspire, then for me, question their ability to be my coach. And I think you should too. Calm under pressure is another thing on my list. How does this person handle adversity? Have you seen them go through a tough time? Are there examples of when they have gone through a tough time? Because that will transition into how they help you through tough times. So are they calm under pressure? How did they handle, right now we all have a good reference point, how did they handle 2020? Did they go off the radar? This is one thing that I saw a lot of last year, and you should ask yourself this question. When adversity strikes, when the pandemic hit last year, did you see people that immediately removed themselves from the public eye? Did they stop doing the things that they were normally doing as a result of the adversity that hit them, that hit their business, that hit them as an individual and the people around them? Because if they are not calm under pressure, if they're not able to maintain their ability to lead and guide others under pressure, you shouldn't want them advising you. And last but not least on my list here, have they actually been where you're trying to go, right? And listen, this is a big thing for me, is that there's a lot of people in this world that are out there advising others that have, never really been in the situation that they are advising others on. And so I find that very challenging, from the situation of being able to give sound advice. If somebody hasn't checked the boxes of the places that you are trying to go in some way, shape, or form, then you should be questioning whether or not they are the right coach for you. For me, let's talk about, whether or not you should have a coach. For me, I can't imagine not having them. I mean, the people that I have around me that advise me, it literally just talking about them makes me emotional. That's how important they are to me. That's how much they mean to me. That's how much they've changed my life. And for me, I just can't imagine not having it. I can't imagine, going through this journey that I'm going through without the perspective of somebody else, without the perspective of people that I genuinely trust with everything that I have. The people that are in my life as advisors, as coaches, I trust them 100%. I'd give them a key to my house. I'd give them my wallet. I'd give them the numbers to my bank account and the passwords to anything that I have online. And that is the level of trust that I have. The people that I have advising me I didn't just jump all in like that all at once. Some of them, one of them that I'm thinking of right now, took me 2 years, right, of back and forth, of conversation, of getting to know each other before, I took the plunge and went all in. But man, it's one of the most valuable relationships that I have in my life. And it's one that I know will be there forever. And so I ask you guys, where are you today? Are you happy with where you're at? And where could you be with the right advisement, right? With the right people talking you through things. One of the things, I'll be fully transparent with you guys. Like, I am a pretty confident person. I don't, look at myself as somebody that lacks self-confidence, but having these advisors, having these people that are incredible human beings, that are great coaches, I will tell you straight up, they see more in me a lot of times than I see in myself. And everybody needs that person in their life. Hopefully I can be that for you guys in some way, shape, or form here in the mornings, right? Where I can see those things. I can see the gifts in people, and I can reach out to you and kind of tell you that, or I can, respond to your message and let you know what I see, or that I appreciate you. But having those people that encourage you is critical. It's so important, guys, because no matter where you're at on the ladder of success, you're always going to face adversity. You're always going to get punched in the face. And having those people around you to make sense of those moments, to help you accelerate through those times of adversity, that is what having the right coach in your life will do for you. It will, everything that I'm describing, the feeling that you get, maybe you're in that place right now where things are tough and you just need that extra, that extra kind of boost to get through it. And when you have these people in your life, when you have the right advisors, the right coaches, those moments are not the same. I try to be that for our team as often as I possibly can. Sometimes I recognize the things that are happening. Sometimes I don't see them and I hear about them later. And I try to go back and try to, even on the backside, if we're coming out of that adversity, man, you can still help people just feel a lot better, right? By being able to make sense of that for them from an outsider's perspective. Having those people in your life is invaluable, guys. Everybody can relate to a time where they were going through something that wasn't easy. And what is it that actually gets you out of that? Most of the time, it's conversations with others, right? Now, take all of the things that I just listed that are characteristics you want to be looking for in a coach, and just assume that advice that you're going to get that gets you through these things that are tough is coming from a person who shares the same values and vision as you do, that has knowledge in areas that you lack, that has the things in their life that you aspire to have. This is the person that's advising you and getting you over the hump, right? You respect them. You instantly trust the words that they share with you. They have the relationships with other people that you admire, and those relationships might even help you get through it faster. They have the track record of success. They're able to motivate and inspire you. Now, I want you to think about that same problem that you thought about and what you were facing, and then you're getting advice from those people to help you through it. You're getting advice in advance of that problem that helps you navigate it better in the first place. And I want you to imagine how much faster your life moves, how much smoother it is to go through those rough times. Finding the right coach for you guys is one of the most important things you can do. If you don't have those advisors, if you don't have those people in your life, I definitely suggest that you do it, that you start looking for that person. I have been that to a lot of people in my career. It's one of the most rewarding things that I get to do, is to coach and mentor and help others see the things that are very easy for someone outside of their situation to see, but not always easy for us to see when we're in them, right? And I couldn't be more thankful for the people that I have in my life that help me through that stuff. And I share that with you because I want everyone to feel that feeling of just feeling great about, who you're surrounded by. There's a sense of security. There's a sense of safety. There's a sense of lacking the fear that you used to have, maybe, that you won't have when you have the right coach, when you're in the right group, when you're surrounded by the right people. We talked on our Top Contractor Inner Circle call this week about just the value of that community, right? And that value for all of us is so incredibly high because everybody in that group is winning, and it's not a coincidence. And we were reminded by one person in the group, I believe it was John Rugg actually, that said, he comes to the group, everybody's winning. outside of the group, he talks to people that aren't winning. And make no mistake, guys, when you choose the right group, when you choose the right people to be surrounded by, when you choose that environment that you fit in, it will change your life. It will change your life. And when you invest into yourself, when you invest into your future by choosing these coaches and, paying for these things to be happening in your life, it would be surprising to some of you how much I invest personally into those things for me to get better. And I have done it for years, right? And it's the only way that I could really accelerate my life at the speed that I wanted to. And so I knew that it would take that financial sacrifice to do it. And I can't encourage you guys enough to do that. And, that is the best advice I could ever give anybody, is get around those people that you trust, that you admire, that share the same values as you, that you really know are good people, that are going to tell you the truth, that are going to motivate and inspire you, and do whatever it takes to be around them, because that is the differentiator in life. Who you are connected to, who you get advice from, how fast you can get through those times of adversity, and how smooth that ride is the difference between those that achieve at extremely high levels and those that don't end up reaching their potential. And so I encourage you guys to take these steps to finding the right coach. Take the list that I just went through and look for those people in your life. Maybe you have some people around you already that check the boxes of those characteristics. And if you do, just try to get closer to them, right? Try to spend more time with them. Call them on the phone and say thank you, and that you appreciate the advice they've given you to this point, and that you recognize that they are that person to you, and you'd like to have more conversations with them. It's the greatest joy in my professional life to be able to help other people see the things that maybe they don't see. And if you have those people in your life, it'll be their greatest joy too. And so I encourage you to think about who the right coach is for you. And as you go into this Friday, think about that person, reach out to them, connect with them, say thank you if that person is that coach to you. It encourages them to continue to do it, right? And it reminds them of why they're doing it. The greatest messages that I get professionally are those messages from people that, tell me what, something we talked about and the result of that in their life, man. It's more energy for me than winning myself, right? And I encourage you guys to do that. Find those people in your life who are that person for you, and reach out to them today. And it'll fill you up too. When you hear their response, and you get their response of you can just kind of feel the energy that comes back from that message. It'll make you have a better day too. So with that said, guys, it is Friday. So you know what I always say, man, go out like a lion today. Don't go out like a mouse. I'll give you the advice that I try to give you every week. Hopefully I never miss it, but make sure you're going to the whistle today, guys. We get one chance at this thing we call life. It goes by in a flicker, and make sure that you're making the best of it. For me, I got stuff scheduled all the way to the afternoon this morning. I always backload my schedule on a Friday to make sure I'm productive. I got some things that I need to do this afternoon to prepare for Mother's Day. And so I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. To all of you out there who are mothers, I hope that you have an amazing weekend. To my mom, to my wife, and to everybody that's here that's a mom this morning, man, you guys make the world go round. I appreciate you so much, and we couldn't do it without you. What an unbelievable gift it is to have mothers in our lives. And so to all of you out there that are mothers, happy Mother's Day. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend full of great memories. And I will see you again Monday morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys. Thanks for being here.